clip. And I'm gonna throw it on stream as well. So for a little while, I will not be able to read anything you guys are typing in game, just because I have like it on full screen for now. So 145, it's kind of a simple mech, not really like that big. All you gotta remember is where's my initial position and where should I stand, and then you start to build from there. So in this case, I'm number 2, so I go towards times 3 plus 1 direction, so that's 6 o'clock. Times 3, sorry, direction, so that's 6. And you can see the number 2 on the other group is times 3 plus 1, so that's why he's at 7 right here. What is the main goal that you want to accomplish while doing this mech? You want to kill 5 orbs that are going to be appearing total. So how do you go about it? My tip and how I teach people to do this is due to how the orbs are dispositioned. Whenever there's an orb, you can clearly see that, like, at least you guys tell me if you can't, but you usually should be able to see that there's like this inside layer right here. There's this outside layer right here. And like this is, you want to avoid this. And then this is like the closed layer where you usually want to be standing on. And the orbs are always going to alternate between being here in this middle layer and being on the outside layer where freeze is. So what do you want to achieve here? Whenever there's an orb outside, I recommend, if you can, you move to the outer layer, kill the orb, and get 1 stack of frost. In this case, I didn't even get it here, but it's just because I moved too fast. You go to the outer layer, grab 1 stack. Every time there's an outside orb, you go to the outer layer and try to get 1 stack. The reason for it is because at the 5th and final orb, you want to kill it and then freeze. And the freeze happens depending on how many stacks you have. At 3, that's the moment you freeze. So since it's 5 orbs, the order always checks out. So for example, right here, even though I didn't get one, it should be fine. Like, I get 1 stack here, next orb is inside. I get another stack here, I get kill orb normally, next orb is outside. I get another stack here. So I'm at 2 right here. And then there's 4th orb, I kill it. Here I get because I couldn't get earlier. And then at the final orb, I kill it and immediately freeze. So it always checks out. So that's why whenever what your goal should be is like, oh, outside orb, get 1 stack. Inside orb, kill it normally. Outside orb, get 1 stack. Inside orb, kill it normally. At the 5th and final one, that's when you want to kill and then go to the outer layer to freeze. This is not true for supports though. Supports, they cannot freeze. They're just going to be killing those orbs. And at the end, they're going to hide behind somebody that is frozen. What to do in case you fuck up and you don't freeze at the end? Look at the pings and at the map if there are players frozen and then hide behind them. If too many people fail, then it's over. So usually you want to see 6 DPSs frozen and 2 supports unfrozen. So the 2 supports are going to hide behind 2 DPSs and then they're fine. So what can go wrong here is if by any chance there's more than 4 people unfrozen, then that means one of you is going to die. So how to prioritize? In case you're a DPS and you're hiding behind somebody and you see the support coming over your way, you should move. Because if you die, then we can keep going. But if the support dies, then it's run over. So always the priority is on the support. But if there's no support, you just keep hiding behind the person you can. But that's only if you fuck up. If you did everything correctly, you should freeze at the 5th orb and be fine. What ends up happening to people usually, how do people die here? It's almost always because they're not following like like these beams, the lasers here. They are your tell when to move. So for example, I'm standing right here and I only move as much as these lasers behind me tell me to move. So like they're right here, I know they're accompanying me, and then I see like the lasers stop. That's where I need to stop and kill the orb. So I stop, kill the orb, start moving. The lasers are behind me. I stop, kill an orb. The lasers are telling me, oh, keep moving, keep moving. and then I stop, kill orb, lasers tell me to move a little bit again. And at the final one, I kill it and then freeze. That's the whole of the mech. So it's quite simple once you grasp it. How much damage do you need in order to kill those orbs? It's pretty much an auto attack from a DPS should be enough. You can see I use skills here just to make sure, but an auto attack is already enough. It's just for convenience sake, I use this, and that's just it. But an auto is already enough, depending on your class. If you have like a ranged auto attack, like let's say Soul Fist, they can even do it from range. But always remember that for the 5th orb, you want to have at least 1 freeze stack. And why is that? Is because if by any chance I didn't have grabbed any of these freeze stacks right here, by the 5th orb, when I was outside, I wouldn't be able to freeze on time, because you can see that the ice dissipates and then nobody gets freeze stacks anymore. So that's why I usually, like, if you have at least 1 and you move out fast enough, by the 5th orb, you're going to get 2 stacks at the same time, and then you freeze and then you're fine. But if you have none, to try to acquire the 3 stacks is going to be way much time, and you're not going to be able to freeze in time, and that's how like everything goes wrong for people. So this is 145. After 145, BREL follows a recipe of what she's going to be doing, and these mechs need to be like properly understood in order for you guys to make it to a clear. So what are the mechs that always follow it? So right after 145, she is going to be doing... Bro, okay, there we go. So this, we succeed in this clip, we succeed 145, and then she's going to do 1 pattern. It can be any pattern. She's going to do 1 pattern. And she's going to do the split screen mech. This is, by the way, the Zeus pattern. She does the split screen right after this. What is the split screen? Is this shit that happens right here. The camera zooms out, and BREL is going to split the screen at 1 point. And anything that's in this blue area right here is going to eat a ton of damage. How to avoid that ton of damage? 2 ways. For normal mode enjoyers, so people in normal mode, you can use your Hyper Awakenings here. It's a really good opportunity because it negates all the damage here. But for people that are doing hard mode, you guys see right here that my support immediately awakened. So I don't get any damage if I do get hit. And why is it bad if you get hit by this? It's because you can see right here in my debuff. Oh, I actually dodged it. Damn. Never mind. But if I did get hit, you get hit with a debuff that gives you the cannot be healed for X amount of seconds. I think the limit, upper limit, is like 45 seconds where you cannot heal by any source. So pods, supports, nothing heals you. So it's really dangerous. That's why usually either you use your Hyper Awakening at that moment, or supports are going to have their Awakenings out. So nobody eats any damage at all, just to maintain their HPs at full. So right after this, she's going to do another pattern. As soon as she comes out, she's going to do another pattern. And you can see she does the 2 times pushback. And then she goes for sight pattern. The sight mech. Sight mech also kind of feels complicated, but just look at what we're doing, and I'll briefly explain what's happening. Right here, I'm not looking at anything because it doesn't matter where these sights are dropping. I'm just like gonna avoid them. But the final 2 sights are the important ones. They are telling where a big laser of death, at which diagonal a big laser of death is gonna appear. So you want to go opposite to that diagonal. What do I mean by opposite? And you can see that Party 1 is going to handle the left side, and Party 2 is going to go towards the right side of these. So we adjust. We know in this diagonal is dangerous. Party 1, the whole of Party 1 is going to go bottom right here. And you can see, like, everybody adjusts. Because in this diagonal right here, there will be a big laser of death. So Party 1, since they are on the left side, and you can see right here, this is the middle of the map. So we're on the left side, left bottom side. And Party 2, since Party 2 is on the right side, they go to the top right side, right there. You can't see them properly, but it's fine. This is how you identify where you should be standing. If you're standing anywhere that's red here, you insta die. It's like 300k damage ticks. So, like, do not be there. Follow to the diagonal, because they are the safe spots. So once you're there on the safe spots, there's another thing that's happening right here, and you guys can actually like take a look. And is that two or more people get hit with a debuff. It's a branding debuff. You can see right here on this Glavier, she has the Phantom brand mark. What does that mean? That means you have an ice AoE around you, and that damages everybody around you. So what supports usually do, and you can see my support right here, they stack on top of that person, and they start shooting them. So that person, they don't die. So what we that don't have it do, you can see the AoE, like right here. This is the AoE of the puddle. This is the AoE of the site. We stand in this very small square right here, in between both the puddle of the player and the site that's dropping. The final site, you do not want to be below it. It does like 250k damage or more. Honestly, I don't think I've been hit by it, but I've seen people get one shot by this shit. So don't be below it. Be in exactly this square between the ice zone and between the guillotine. Once it drops, you wait until it starts moving. Once it starts moving, you press your dress guard and you block it. The same is happening up top. So everybody from party 2 is that they're handling the right side, and it's happening the same exact way for them. They're doing the exact same thing. This is the whole of site mech. It's really simple. More if you like, oh shit, I should follow my group, you're already halfway right. The other part is just adjusting to the small, like to the, pretty much to the ice, like to this ice brand. Because, oh, I have the ice, that means you need to be a little closer towards the middle. Do not be exactly on the middle. Let me see if you guys can see it here. You can. So, did you see that, like, red AoE? That's the AoE of the laser. So, this player, he's going to be, like, close to the middle, not really in the middle, because else he's going to get hit by the laser, and that's going to kill him. So, that's why that player is a little close. So, oh, I have an ice AoE. I go a little closer to the middle, not really, really close. Adjust if necessary, and supports are going to be shooting everybody throughout the whole thing. If you don't have the ice AoE, you position yourself in between the ice and the guillotine and just guard it. You just guard. The timing for the just guard is once the sight actually starts moving towards you. That's when you press it. This happens always. That's why I always try to, like, whenever I'm explaining 145, I always try to explain these two that follow it up. Because this happens like on repeat. It's gonna be 145, one pattern. She's gonna do screen split, one pattern, and then she's gonna go for sight mech. Somebody had a question. You can go for it. Just one person can just guard it. If somebody, if I recall, yeah, if somebody fails, I am pretty sure, I won't be 100% confident because there was a time where this just guard was wonky, but I'm pretty sure that only one person goes for it. Like, if I press my just guard, and let's say the other person that was with me try to press their just guard, they do nothing, and only my just guard counts. But this was a glitchy, like, mess, so if I recall, that's kind of how it works, but if only one person succeeds, it should be fine. But it can happen where, like, you press your just guard, but it doesn't count, and only the other person that already tried and failed count. And then the guillotine is gonna get through us and do, like, 200k damage and give us the debuff where we cannot heal for a little while. So it's dangerous, but it's not gonna one-shot you, especially if you have shields throughout the whole thing. So it's not gonna, like, one-shot anybody unless they're already low, but then that's their fault. But yeah, usually only one person, like, usually no, 100%, only one person needs to just guard it, but there's some wonky, like, shit happening. Got it? Yes. Yes. No, support shields work. That's usually one of the main reasons why, exactly the reason why supports are gonna, like, during this, you can see everybody hyper awaken, like, or awaken. For supports to awaken is exactly because of that. It's because shields work, so that means having everybody shielded up is the best way to maintain them alive, even if they're, like, if they're gonna have the debuff. Because here, I wasn't sure if my support, we weren't on Discord in this run, so I wasn't sure if my support would have the awaken, so I actually move and dodge out. But if I knew my support would have it, I would just stand here and DPS the fuck out of bro. Like, this is like... Because I know I can handle myself if I have the debuff. I know I have my not only my support awakening going for me, but he's going to be shielding me constantly. So as long as I don't drop, like, way too much HP, I'm going to be fine. So, yeah. Any more questions about this, like, this follow-up of 3 mechs? So, these 3 mechs always happen. So that's why I explain them together. But there's one last thing that we can quickly get through. Let me see if we actually see it in this poll. And it's her identity mech. Shoot. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, okay. So, hypering prior to 145 is a way to try and save a DPS if they fumble. But it's only if they fumble for, like, the lasers. So, because, due to how it works, like, some people don't dodge the lasers properly during 145. Let me rewind a little bit here. Actually, go forward. During the whole laser portion, like, these lasers, they tick for, like, infinite damage. So what happens is, usually people tend to fumble here, and they might get hit with, like, a laser. That's kind of on them. Like, because these lasers, they do, like, 100, I think it's 100k ticks. So if they fumble, they can die here. So whenever, if in case that happens, you can save somebody's life. If they adjust properly, because you're going to save their life for like 3 seconds, and then they need to keep doing what they need to keep doing. But that is like you going overboard for like just trying to avoid that somebody dies. But if they don't freeze and then there's not enough spots, then they're going to die anyway. So you cannot save them from that. My opinion and how I personally play, it's always better than my support has their awakening for normal mode. It's always better than my support has like the shields and everything for the split screen, because then I can greed more. But you're in an inexperienced group and you want to like, or you're already jailed, you're kind of like out of patience, holy shit, I want to get this done. Then you can definitely like hyper prior to the mech starting, just to make sure that your DPSs don't fumble for the lasers or anything else that's happening there. But this is like just you going a little overboard just to make sure that they don't fall over. But it's a good way to like minimize damage in case it does happen. But as agreed, like homework standard, almost always they rather have their supports have their awakening there, so they can fully greed out of everything there. Especially on hard mode, it's more true, because in hard mode you cannot use your hyper awaken until a very specific thing that happens in phase 3. So that's why you also want to eliminate kind of the behavior of using your hyper even earlier than that. All right. So with this in mind, let me see if we get the full identity once in here. We do split screen. Oh, please tell me she does it. Okay, she does it. Thank God. So identity is the opposite of what she's doing in phase 2. So in phase 2, she's trying to push you from the middle towards the edges. In phase 3, she's trying to pull you from the edges towards the middle. So you can see that everybody here, everybody's going towards the edge. So then whenever she's pulling, you don't get in this middle area. This middle area is like gonna do infinite damage and maybe kill you. What after this? BREL is gonna split up into 4 clones on the cardinal position. So north, south, east, west. And you have to look for the red. There's gonna be a red target marker on top of the BREL, like the real BREL right here. You guys are gonna be able to see this because I'll be pinging, but in case like you don't have it, you can check by synergies. You can usually see them visually on the real BREL shots. But what you guys should be looking is this red target marker, usually even on pugs, but especially here on Classroom, I'll make sure that I ping BREL prior to her splitting up. Once you see, oh shit, real BREL is here. She's gonna have a stagger bar, and then you ping, and you can see that I think my order is pinged here. Everybody goes there and stagger her. That's the whole of the mech. So quite simple. It's just the opposite of what you're doing in phase 2. Phase 2, she's trying to push you from middle towards the outside. On phase 3, she's trying to bring you towards the middle. So you go to the outside and then hang in there, succeed the spacebar. In normal mode is a spacebar. Succeed it, and then try to find the BREL that has the big red thing on top of her head. Once you find it, ping it on the ground so everybody on the map can see it where you pinged. Everybody goes there and stagger it. The stagger is really simple. I think 2 people can have it. I've seen like a paladin and an artillerist do it alone. But with like, if you get 4 people, is already like gonna delete that stagger and then you complete the mech. These are the final mechs after between like this and a clear. Because phase 3, she has kind of the same patterns. There's minor differences. One of them, and usually where I see people die, is, let's see if we can catch it here. She usually does it right after... Where is it? Usually right after sights, she tends to do it. Which is the Just Guard. Her Just Guard... there we go. Her Just Guard here is really dangerous. If you're unsure, oh shit. I don't think I'm gonna like do the Just Guard properly. Make sure you're full HP. She doesn't kill, like pretty much almost always doesn't kill if you're full HP. So make sure you're full. So you pot up, make sure that you are at maximum HP you can. But the timing is really simple. You can see that she does like glows yellow, and then she does the slap. You want to have it for the slap. She does like the backhand slap thing. And once it glows yellow, wait a little bit. And once she starts moving her hand for the second slap, that's when you want to have it. That's pretty much it. These are the only things, in my opinion, that separate you guys from actually making it. Sorry for the huge information dump, but I feel like this is necessary so you guys have a very good basis in order to like make it towards the next phase of the fight. Alright, let's go. I'm gonna do a ready check. Oh, 145. Yeah, they just hide. Yeah, they just hide behind somebody and wait until the explosion goes off. Once the explosion goes off, free the person ahead of you and then go towards the middle to stagger. You only need 4 people to complete that stagger easily. So that's why supports only 3 people ahead of them and then go straight towards the middle, complete the stagger. And that's it. Like, pretty simple, pretty basic. Oh shit, I have the wrong battle items. Alright, there we go. Everybody did confirm the ready check, so we can go.
For this to succeed, Belshazzar must be taken care of.
1,